All right, we're doing a recording. This is it. That's it. We're live, guys. We're live on TikTok
All right, we're never live. Always edited.
because of Mikey J.
So,
Good luck
I
editing.
know where to start now. Right after that stupid shit right there. That's my fucking cut that shit out. All right.
I don't know. Cut that out.
Hi, man. Second to last episode, episode 11. Thank you guys for joining me. This is the No Diddy Show.
Oh, that's how we're starting it.
That's how we're starting it, bro.
All right.
The No Diddy Show, because that's the episode right there. That's the No Diddy. That's what it's gonna be called. The topics for today will be the Baltimore Bridge collapse, the Diddy allegations, and the quiet on set. And with me, I have my co-host, basically for the season 4.
Both of us, pretty much.
That's what I say. Shout out to Mike.
Yeah, that's what I said, my co-host,
Co to the co-host or the regional assistant to the regional manager.
assistant to the regional manager, bro.
I like that.
Who's Jim? You're Jim Halpert. He's Dwight.
Did that work? Did that work for you? You're good.
It doesn't matter.
What do you think?
I know you guys don't know much about the topics other than the bridge collapse, which is fucking crazy, by
Yeah.
the way. Obviously you all should know the news by now, and if you don't, you live under a fucking bridge. No pun intended. But yeah, man, March 7th. There was. Wait, was it March 7th? Really? Is that long ago?
No,
Wow.
No. Did I get that date wrong?
maybe. No, it happened.
No,
on
it happened a
the
couple days ago.
It happened on the
27th.
At least when I saw the clip.
No, that was
27th. That
27th.
was supposed to be a 27th. You see, already
Okay.
No, it
fucking
didn't
out.
happen 2 days ago.
Yeah, it did. Happened in the morning.
I think you sent it to me as soon as it happened.
Well, today's Friday, right? It happened Tuesday morning or Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning, probably. Who fucking?
Fucking-
Well, it's not. I don't fucking.
It was
care.
probably early morning, like Tuesday going into Wednesday.
Shout out to the Burbs from Puka.
You're
We
gonna miss
appreciate that. I'm gonna miss that.
So whatever. It happened a couple days ago. Right now, there's presumed to be 6 dead, but the bodies have not been rescued as of right now. That's the latest article I read on CNN. The bodies have not been rescued, which is crazy because there's so much going in, like underwater. Obviously, the bridge collapsed and everything, and they use sonar to verify how many vehicles are down there, but they can't seem to find the bodies, which is crazy.
Too much debris in the way.
Exactly. So basically what happened was the container ship, a big ass container ship, lost power. So it was early Tuesday and crashed into the bridge, sending people and vehicles into the Patas. I don't know how to fucking pronounce that. Someone help me. Yeah. It's
Patasco? I don't know.
Patapsco.
Yeah, what he said.
Patapsco River.
Which is crazy. We'll talk a little bit about it. I'm sure you guys saw the video. Did you guys see the videos already?
I saw the video of it crashing into the bridge.
It crashed.
And then
I
the
saw
bridge
a bunch of
collapsing.
them, yeah, like it losing power like 3 different times.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was like, I think the second time that it lost power, after that there was smoke coming from it, and then as it made that awkward turn is when the light turned on again, and then it shut off again right before it hit, or I think it went out when it hit, but like the collapse of the bridge was immediately like right after.
Yeah.
But what happened was that they were able to, once they got alert that the ship went out of power, the Baltimore police, I think, sent cops and they shut the bridge down in time where all the cars were able to get off, like the last few cars like were able to exit. They shut it off, and then the only cars that were on there were like construction or like people that were working the bridge or whatever it was. So they were able to clear all the traffic on there, but the cars and people that fell into the water were like, you know, first responders or construction workers.
Oh shit.
So they were able, because the video you see like the cars, and I'm like, when this hits, like how many cars are like going back and forth, but like right before it hit, like you can see that there was really no moving traffic. They stopped traffic in time from what I saw.
That's true. That part I read too in the article, that there was the first time it lost power, the crew captain basically announced it right away, and he was trying to do everything to prevent the ship from advancing. So he put down the anchors. He tried to, when he did receive power again, he tried to steer away from the bridge, but it was too late because that thing is fucking massive. Like the way they described it, I think it was 9 football fields. That's how long that shit is.
What?
Yeah, 9 football fields. Maybe I'm maybe I misread in the article. I didn't put it there,
Yeah.
but I remember it said it's like as long as 9 football fields and the anchors. Think about like even though they're heavy anchors, that shit is not fucking stopping a fucking boat that size. It's a container ship.
Yeah.
So
It's
they're
like
huge.
I think it's like 15,000 tons or 30,000 tons, something like that.
Yeah.
Which is fucking. I mean,
Yeah.
what? How many airplanes is that? Right?
Yeah, and the irony to it, there was an architect that commented on the crash and said, honestly, for people that think it, because there are already conspiracy theories saying that the way it dropped, it looks like there were certain bombs put in certain places, which is ridiculous.
Whoa.
But this architect said we don't plan for shipping containers of that size hitting our bridge.
Yeah.
So I can see a bridge that's been there for years after wear and tear collapsing after a fucking how many tons did you say?
I think like
Roughly?
30 up to 30,000, something like that.
Think about that. At a speed hitting that's even more. Of course, the bridge. I thought maybe the bridge takes like a dent or something, but for it to collapse, it did collapse weird. But it's just depending on how like what structure, what beam is holding what beam. So
Right.
that's why I kind of
Yeah.
wanted to have George here because he would have been able to explain better maybe the way
The
that
architecture of
it,
it.
it was maybe more of a normal fall. But already with the rumors, we're hearing a lot of fucking conspiracy theories on the internet. But one funny thing that I did read on the article is that Biden called the Congress and basically said that I'm going to make sure that the federal government's going to pay for the entire cost of the reconstruction bridge. And I said, bro, can you imagine if that's not the case? After sending billions of dollars to fucking Ukraine and he can't fucking fix a bridge in the fucking States, bro.
Dude.
Yeah.
I hope they pay for every single fucking penny and Baltimore doesn't have to take out one fucking penny out of their pocket to pay that shit, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I hope his word is his bond.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Also, what I
Yeah.
wanted to talk to about this is this is the crazy part. So the ship basically it was confirmed in the article that it got it inspected 27 times since it was built in 2015 and it had 2 deficiencies. What the fuck? Like it was built in 2015. It's been now, what is it, 9 years? And it had 2 deficiencies. At what point do you fucking say, all right, boat's decommissioned until it gets fixed? Who's responsible for that fucking tragedy? Like right now, it's supposedly the crew captain, but supposedly in the article they defend him too that he did everything right to make sure that it didn't hit the bridge.
So like he wasn't negligent. He wasn't negligent.
Correct. He took every precaution. But there's rumors, and this is the only part I didn't want to add onto the article here. There's rumors are being said on TikTok that when the boat was docked at Baltimore, there was something going on wrong with it. But because everything is cost effective, everything is looked at as in money. The cargo place told them they have to fucking leave. What is this a proper name for it?
The
port.
The port told them they have to leave because there was another shipping boat coming and it needed that spot. It's like, yo, you got to get the fuck out because that boat brings us money. We cannot delay that shipment.
Yeah, but I mean, they could have probably just had it like sail out and anchor somewhere. In the meantime, if there was like, so when you say like deficiencies, like are they, unfortunately in this event, if those deficiencies were the cause of what happened, then it's a problem. But then there may be like deficiencies. They're like, okay, it's not going to affect the travel of the boat. It may be something minor, like it doesn't, it doesn't need to be decommissioned at this moment or whatever. But
obviously they didn't think so, right? They didn't.
Well, they also didn't think that it was gonna go into a bridge, and
I mean that's worst case scenario. I think hitting a structure and collapsing it.
I mean, and that's what brings me to my questions to you guys now. Obviously, we kind of I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but I don't think it was. But I want to know your thoughts. Do you think at all this was done intentional? And why is this shit happening to us? Just ironically, months after that movie came out called "Leave the World Behind." Have you guys seen that movie, by the way?
I haven't, but
You're
the title
crazy, bro. You're crazy. I should stab you. You saw it, right?
The movie's crazy.
It's fucking good. And there's a scene where there's a fucking huge shipping container that lands in the middle of the fucking ocean because it lost power.
Like it,
Wait. So it's exactly what we're
it
saying.
drove up on like a beach shore, but it lost power because the power grids were attacked or something,
Right.
and it lost power, and it just kept driving. Like it looked like it was slowing down, like it wasn't slowing down as it was approaching
Mm-hmm.
the shoreline, and it just drove up onto the beach in the movie.
For
That's-
anyone that is like Anthony, that didn't watch this movie, I had a feeling that one of you fuckers didn't watch it. Leave the World Behind, basically, it explores the depths of humanity when faced with a scenario. Leave the World Behind, basically, to just give you a quick summary, it's I believe, maybe I don't want to put the word, but is it China or Japan? One of them, right? It's
Like
China
the
or Japan.
antagonist in those.
Yeah, at the end, like when they get
Oh.
the things get parachuted through and they pick up the paper thing. It's either Japan or China or Korea. Yeah, one of them. It's either North Korea, China, or Japan, and it's fucking one of them fucking with the U.S. and having a cyber attack. It's a cyber attack war where they take control of all the computers. Teslas start crashing into each other. Boats can't maneuver. So it's basically like this technological warfare, and having Americans implode on themselves because now you have to basically defend your own, find shelter, get food, and what happens in moments of chaos? You know, you do whatever you can to survive, even
Right. Yeah.
and your own neighbor is your enemy at that point because your survival instinct's gonna kick in and be like, I need food, and you're in the way of getting food, or protection, or shelter.
Yeah, it's like it's survival instincts fully at that point.
Yeah, not to ruin the movie, but in that movie, the main reason they even have to scout out is because of medicine.
Right. Yeah, a lot of apocalyptic movies are freaking based on finding medicine. It's like the most important resource.
Yeah,
Because you get sick, you get infected.
Yeah.
That's it. It's
and
like
that's what True Colors show, because there's this one guy that has it and he doesn't want to give it up, and he looks like the evil guy, but is he really the evil guy? Like, he needs it also. He doesn't trust you. What if you're here trying to harm his family? You know what I mean? So it gets crazy when you really start to think about it. And the reason I said this, like, and the funniest thing, the reason I'm mentioning this movie is because this movie is co-produced by the Obamas.
oh my god, this is getting to a rabbit hole. I love it. Okay, so
this is
I
why
mean,
I mentioned it.
So this okay. First of all, I want to watch this movie. Thanks for the description.
Really good.
Thanks for including that. Now I feel included, bro. All right, so I mean, I don't know if it was done intentional, but wow, that's such a coincidence that the movie plot, 6 months ago, when it come out,
not even
I
like
think it came out in like the late summer.
the coincidence of it happening so soon after that movie launch is unreal, especially something this disastrous. Like have we ever seen something like this before?
No, not to this.
No, I don't. Right. So it's been quite a long time,
and it's a Singaporean ship, I believe.
A Singaporean ship.
It's not even an American cargo ship.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Now, after that, the articles came out about the Baltimore Bridge. I think it was Francis Key Bridge in Baltimore. There was like supposedly like a week or maybe a month before that, there was a collapse in Philly of a bridge in Philly.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Not sure.
This is the only bridge I heard about fucking collapsing, honestly.
Because when I saw that, I was like, if we saw this, then we definitely would have seen something about that, no matter what social platform you're on.
Well, you know what I mean? I'm sure there could have been a bridge that maybe collapsed that wasn't brought into great attention, only because the magnitude of how this happened.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
It's a fucking shipping container crashing into a bridge in the middle of the night, and there's videos of it. And the only thing that I do find weird about the videos, and this is where maybe, like you said, you guys watched it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the video, they show the ship doing this and then this. So that's the part that confuses me, because why the fuck did it maneuver that way? But obviously, I don't know dick about how ships work. And it could be because it lost power, it started steering it one way. Like, I don't know. And every time I heard it on TikTok, people were questioning it. Why did the direction change so drastically? And even if they were on and off losing power, like, what was being done in the water parts to try to help, like, Coast Guard? Was there anything that could have been done to try to prevent the fucking hit?
A lot of people said that because the ship was anchored, that the anchor changed the direction of the ship itself. Because you have the anchor in one spot and it's trying to stay straight, maybe, or whatever. whenever they dropped the anchor, and it shifted the position of the ship.
Right.
But like still,
I mean, you have this large body of water that's constantly hitting the shape, changing its course. And if you don't have power, you don't have power steering.
That's true.
And then, it's just going to wobble around.
yeah. It
So
could have
maybe
been
that's
the
what
water as
happened.
well. Yeah, the water could have
I
affected
mean,
it.
the
but-
water is everything on a ship.
Yeah.
It's
Correct.
constantly hitting it.
People don't understand how much those fucking little propellers do. Those
Yo,
propellers do a lot.
they do yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so
amazing.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking too. I just don't know how the fuck that shit fucking works. So I'd lie to you if I told you, yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know that much, but I just know that a couple things like that. Probably losing power is a big one, right?
And then the other questions that I have was also like, what are the long lasting effects that will have on our economy? And I know George was like, what the fuck does it matter? It's old news, but it's not old news because it's going to affect the rest of our fucking country. Because I also got this from TikTok. And this is also, by the way, we can actually mention this too. How do you guys feel about the TikTok ban? Do you guys give a fuck at all?
TikTok what?
Ban.
Ban?
Oh,
I
yo.
I can take it from two perspectives. I think that there is a lot of shit on there that maybe shouldn't be to our eyes, but that's across all platforms.
What do
but
you
I
mean by that?
like just things that
Because Twitter shows you fucking cartel members cutting people up.
yeah.
Reddit
yeah,
does too.
Yeah.
But what do
That's
you
what
what
I
do
mean,
you
like,
specifically mean by that?
I don't think I have a specific. I think it's like the general of pushing of certain agendas. I see a
agendas
lot.
being pushed. That's what kind of I want to understand.
Yeah,
more, I guess.
agendas being pushed that maybe shouldn't be. But I mean, I've found like valuable information from TikTok, but I still take it with a grain of salt. Like,
Yeah.
there's
Of
no
course, me
like.
too.
It's just something that you're watching. You don't know how it was filmed, how it was recorded, what's the intention behind it. I think that's the key thing when people are like constantly going through
Yeah.
their phone and scrolling through videos and whatever is like you gotta take it with a grain of salt. Like not everything can be taken at face value, and yeah, you just gotta be mindful. Like understand like your own perspectives as well. It's good to be open to other perspectives, but like try to understand what you're reading and watching.
My general take on the TikTok ban is I'm against it. I'll be honest, I don't like the app. Don't want to use it. I'm going to use it for my business. But other than that, I don't want to use it. In general, though, I think bans on this type of stuff like censorship is bad overall.
Yeah.
I think TikTok is not the greatest app when it comes to social media, but there's a lot of social media apps nowadays that are getting a hold of this attention economy. That's a whole rabbit hole. But in general, yeah, just bans like censorship like this is not good because people are going to find a way to get TikTok. They're going to find a way to access it, and it's like it's covering the hole with a band-aid. Like you gotta, if you want to fix the problem, fix how people use the app, as opposed to like educating people like a better use of your time on the app, as opposed to like trying to blanket ban it for everyone. What do you think?
So, well, I want to ask you why do you think it's not the best app there? Like, what do you mean by that? Like, it's not the best social media app out there.
Oh, it's completely geared to having you stay on the app as long as possible.
But you don't think all apps are like that? Like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, now called X.
I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
As soon as you open TikTok, what happens?
Shows you a video.
Shows you a video that plays with audio.
Correct.
Right. None of the apps do that right now, and there's a reason for that.
Instagram does.
Not as soon as you open the app.
As soon as you open the app, you get to see
But
your following.
You get to see your
But
following.
it doesn't take you straight to Reels.
It doesn't take you straight to Reels.
But
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Instagram is still a scrolling app where it takes you to the things you're following, unless you click
But
the
it's
reel.
But
option.
most of the time, I mean, now with like video integration into the app, obviously, like you may see someone's post that has a video, but you need to like physically like go to the video and either it's
No,
gonna play
correct,
already.
correct.
There's a few more steps, was my point,
Yeah.
with the
Well, let me-
Instagram and all
Let me
that.
counter it though.
Go
Let me
ahead.
just
Yeah,
add
I
to
didn't.
that point.
Okay.
Only I hated TikTok in the beginning. Obviously, COVID is the only reason that app really exploded.
Mhm.
Boredom. So that's the own use's fault, by the way. That's shutting down our country is what made everyone go onto that app
That's
and
true.
explore
Yeah.
it. So,
Big part of
which
it.
is hilarious because now they're trying to ban it.
Yeah.
But that's always been the way the platform worked. From when I even remember it before it blew up, I remember they were trying to throw it out there. And I'm one of those weirdos, like, when they throw like a game advertisement or an app advertisement, like on other socials, like, and no one really clicks on them unless it's like something entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that I'm like, yeah, let me see that game. Like,
You click on the ads.
Yeah, let me see the click of the game. That game looks fun. Like when I'm really bored. So I had downloaded TikTok years ago, probably like in 2019, I think, before it blew up in 2018 maybe. But I didn't know what it was, and then when I found out what it was just a fucking dancing app. That's like karaoke. Yeah,
it was Musically before, right?
Yeah. So
so what's your counter?
They never changed their format. The format's always been the same for them. Yeah, but I get what you're saying.
So all it is like, so there's a lot of research that goes into making an app like TikTok. They are finding the quickest ways for you to get a dopamine hit, because they're playing on human psychology and the reward system of our brain. And so when you have an app that's geared at maximizing your attention for any amount of time, where you could spend 6 hours of your day straight on the app and not do anything, that truly messes up people, because they start thinking, that the world is in this weird little, way. And, there's all these crazy short, impulsive dopamine hits. But in general, like when you have an app that focuses all of their resources on developing that technology, I don't think it's a great thing. So we have to be very careful how we use that app.
That should be because on the person, though.
It should be on the person. That's why I meant. That's why we shouldn't ban it blanketly.
Yeah,
we should ban it.
You're not against it. I'm just questioning that one little thing that you said. It's not the greatest. So that's correct. Like I agree with you 100%. It's definitely a dopamine rush where it's very. If you're not right in your head, you're gonna be addicted. You're gonna be a fucking fuck that's living on the app, dude, 24/7. And we've seen people like that.
Yeah.
Even me, sometimes I catch myself. I've been on the app for like 2 hours. But you don't see like that because it's only seconds in your head that you're seeing a reel. You don't see those seconds add up.
The dopamine hits. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, I love cracking up. I don't know what your For You pages are. Mine are wrestling, comedy, random shit, conspiracy theories, big on that. Me just saying this is probably going to fucking make my algorithm just change right now. It's going to give me everything I just labeled.
So everything that you notice that you get the highest engagement with, well, let me reverse. The things that you see on your feed is exactly what you pay attention the most to.
Correct.
That's what they're trying to maximize. So all that stuff, you have a deep, profound interest in.
Can't even imagine what Herbert's fucking For You page looks like.
Leave it in the comments, Herbert.
No, don't leave it in the comments, you fuck.
Ban Herbert.
Yeah, bro.
Ban Herbert.
But okay. But my opinion to it, I'm also in agreement. I'm in the same page as you are. I don't think they should have banned the app just because I'm against censorship. And I just think it's stupid for their reasoning. Their reasoning saying, well, China could be using the information in a horrible way to harm our youth and all that bullshit, which is true. They could be. But what the fuck's the difference between Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that shit? You know how many times Facebook has sold our information until the government finally said enough's enough? And that's probably because a dirty politician fell for it and was like fucking scammed or something, or fucking got labeled out for being disgusting.
Someone important got
whiff of it.
No, someone important got like
negatively impacted.
Yes. Yeah. I didn't even say that. Yeah. Negatively impacted, where they was like, okay, we can't have this to other important people.
Another thing about TikTok, which is a little bit different from a lot of social medias are like this these days, but one egregious example of TikTok is their privacy policy. If you actually read it, nobody reads it. That's the truth. Nobody
Joe Rogan went through this, but go ahead.
Yeah. So if you go into it in more detail, like you read all the paragraphs, how and when they're allowed to use your data and sell your data, it's in all cases that they're able to take all this information and the additional information that they collect. Like, for example, every device has an ID, a unique identifier. That means my phone here has an ID that if you were to plug it in to a database, and a cell phone tower database, they will know this phone is exactly mine. It's unique, 100%. TikTok collects that information.
Mhm.
So they know exactly who you are because they could look up information related to that device ID. Now they do this on a more crazy scale where they look at all the devices connected to your home network. Why do they need to know, for example, my device that I don't even have TikTok installed? Why do they track my device ID when Mike uses the app? But that's what they do. So even
Because
if
you're
Mike
part of the
uses
same
the app,
Wi-Fi?
I'm using the app.
Because you're part of the same Wi-Fi
I'm
IP
part of the
address.
yes. But who said that I consented to that? Well, Mike consented
For
to
you.
that for me. But you
Might as well
see,
use the app.
but you see how crazy that is. That's
It
a
is.
whole nother step.
But you know what it is, man? It's just like what we mentioned a lot before in other podcasts. Like, at what point does technology stop? Like, do you really think that other apps or other things or the government isn't doing this already with certain things? I just don't give
Oh
a
yeah.
fuck. I really don't. I mean, and I've watched that movie with Will Smith, which is the one where he's being tracked by the government to be killed.
What movie is that? Oh,
Oh my god.
iRobot, Men in Black,
no.
I Am Legend.
No, he's involved in a lot of
That
fucking
is-
conspiracy
Pursuit of
movie.
Happiness.
No.
just go through the Joyner Lucas lyrics. He
Yeah, he mentions all
in
of
Will the song.
Oh,
Yo, shout out to that song. This
what
song
the
is
fuck's
dope.
that movie?
Shout out to the new album. That Johnny Lucas album's fire.
I did
I've
listen to
listened
it.
to it.
But
Yo,
I did listen
to
to
it
it.
probably like 3 times straight through at work.
It's good.
It's
Yeah,
mad
it's
good. Yeah, it's good.
Storytelling on a whole nother level. But anyway,
Yeah.
I'm gonna find it right now. Hold on.
Uh,
It is Enemy of the State. Have you never watched that
Oh,
movie?
ooh, no,
Such a what the fuck? Bro? You have not watched good before.
bro, I have not watched movies. Period.
Let me tell you something, kid. You gotta watch that fucking movie.
All right,
You
bet.
gotta. Maybe this is why I'm so like big on conspiracy theories. I watch fucking movies like that, bro. Makes you fucking not care anymore. Not care about because I know they're fucking watching whenever they want to. Whenever they want to listen, they're fucking listening, bro. Like, who's stopping them? You know
That's
what I mean?
very true.
We're just not
Yeah.
important to them right now, or a threat to society, or a threat to them, or a threat to some fucking movement that they're fucking trying to organize. So they don't give a fuck about us. They hear me and they're like, "Yo, look at that fucking loser on PCP." But it's crazy. That's why I'm not too crazy about what TikTok hears, doesn't hear. But I get what you're saying. It's just it's a principle of consenting.
Yeah, I would say that it's a principle. Yeah.
So I fuck with that answer. All right, let's move on to the next subject. And like a redneck, bro, man, this one's crazy. Like, I don't even know if I'm mentally prepared. This is all I've been seeing. Is obviously the podcast episode is sponsored by No Diddy, and Diddy's been on the news, bro. I've been talking about Diddy for a long time about how I personally do not like this guy. Always felt like there were so many rumors against his name and what ifs. Like when a person lives with an like a fucking persona that what if he was involved in this? Like so many what if cases. He has to be a piece of shit, bro. There's conspiracy theories that he killed Tupac and Biggie. There's conspiracy theories now. There were rumored that his parties were so crazy they had minors at the party. There were rumors once that P. Diddy groomed a lot of young artists. And now with the new allegations that have just come up in 2023 and 2024, it's basically being almost confirmed. I don't want to say confirmed because nothing's happened yet. The latest news on Diddy, by the way, two of his houses got raided by fuck, hold on. Who fucking raided his
It's
house?
their
again?
first bullet point.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Fuck you. By the U.S. Homeland Security, bro. They raided two of his homes, one in Los Angeles and one in Miami. So basically, to give you an idea of why I believe they raided his homes, was because in the raid they're hoping to collect information in regards to his newest lawsuit case that this producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones basically put a lawsuit on February 26th, basically saying that P. Diddy forced himself on him and made him do things, drugged him, and got proof of. So he would basically record people, and they've confirmed that they found cameras in every room of P. Diddy's homes.
Whoa.
So he would make people do stuff, record it, use it as blackmail, and this is how he was able to groom and get his power. Now, everything I'm about to say is all not 100% confirmed. I'll let you know which parts are confirmed. Like the cameras are confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
His homes, every single room had a camera. And this guy basically told you he got butt fucked by Diddy, but he also was tricked, drugged, and harassed to the point where now he was in this year. He knew that to bring this case up, he needed to collect evidence, and that was his whole reason of staying. Supposedly, he collected all this evidence and was able to finally bring up a case where he has supposedly images, screenshots, videos, pictures, recordings, text messages, and he has names people associated. He basically fucking wrote the snitch 101 and said, I'm fucking taking down Diddy myself. And due to this, though, that is why I believe they raided his homes to collect this evidence. But here's the scary part. Diddy is someone that, to a lot of people, especially you guys know who Candace Owens is, right?
Yeah. His ex.
She what?
Isn't she his ex?
No.
She's not
She's a political
lady.
Who's? Oh no, I'm thinking Cassie.
Cassie, that's Cassie.
Yeah.
Candace Owens.
Not
That'd be
Candace.
fucking
I was about to
crazy.
say, hold up. Okay. Yeah,
Candace Owens, basically, she reported that they're not doing this to get evidence to support this lawsuit. They're doing this because in this lawsuit, it's so legit that now they confirm that this guy, Rodney Jones, does have proof. And not just proof of Diddy doing this, proof of high elite people like CEOs, CFOs, executives, people involved and partner with Diddy, high class, A-class celebrities. And now you're seeing videos all over TikTok pop up of people that have mentioned just being at Diddy's parties. We're talking people affiliated like LeBron fucking James, people like Fat Joe, people like Lil Wayne, Birdman. There's videos of Diddy kissing Birdman in the cheek. No one thought it was weird, but now that you know that he's like a kind of a freak and does like this a lot of homosexual stuff with other men, nothing wrong with being gay, but he the way that Rodney describes it in his lawsuit, Diddy was basically saying like, yo, Jones, you're gonna do all this shit because it's normal in this kind of industry. It's so normal. Let me show you. And he shows him videos of supposedly some other artist of some other black producer having sex with a white guy and says, you see, this is normal, man. We do this. I've even had sex with redacted name artist on the, that's what it says on the affidavit.
Wow.
Two redacted artists. And then they give you what's that little start thing? Asterisk, where you can go in later and find out.
Oh, footnote.
The footnote.
It doesn't tell you the name, but it describes the person. One of the footnotes says specifically, one of them says, I just want to make sure I get it word for word. He says, oh, Philly rapper that dated Nicki Minaj.
Meek Mill.
Another one.
Wow.
Another one. So basically saying that he duked Meek Mill. Another one says, Grammy award winning R&B singer that just performed at the Super Bowl. Usher. So
That's
big
crazy.
names. So those are the names that they're letting you find out about. But what are the names that there aren't? So what Candace believes is that Diddy will take the fall, even though he is 100% guilty. But they went to those homes to secure all that information because there's other names on those fucking files that aren't Meek Mill, Chris Brown, Usher. Rumored. These are all allegations. Like I said, nothing's been confirmed yet because there's no loss. There's no case yet, and supposedly Diddy has not been arrested.
Mm-hmm.
There was like a video of him like walking around while his homes are being raided
In Miami, supposedly. But those always when you see those videos, what they're like 720p quality. It's like who the fuck's recording this shit with a smartphone or with a fucking flip phone?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
That's difficult. There's a lot there. I don't know how much. I mean, you mentioned that you're looking through a lawsuit with redacted names and all that. I mean, that is a lot, especially coming with the Epstein stuff coming out as well.
Yes, they're calling him the Black Epstein.
Wow, this is a lot. I mean,
so and just to give you even worse of why I believe all this, and I believe it to be true, just a couple of months ago, there was a lawsuit that Cassie, his ex, filed, and she accused him of raping her in 2018, beating her up, demanding that she carry a firearm, basically forcing her to have sexual encounters with male sex workers. This basically blew up the internet, and this is where I believe it was 100% true. He settled that lawsuit in one day with an undisclosed amount. And everyone was saying, why is Cassie settling? Take him to court. People like that have powerful friends, and that's why I believe she didn't take him to court, because then she has to live through it again. Why would a girl that's been abused like that and forced and drugged, like he was so abusive, he in her affidavit, I guess it's an affidavit, right?
Statement.
Her statements in her court in the thing that she filed, he kept her drugged up. He had control of her doctor, paid her doctor. Nothing went in her pause that he didn't allow. She was his sex slave. And there are videos publicly showing how he humiliated her. There's a weird one. I wish I could show you guys the screenshot. But where he has her covered with like a fucking she's completely covered by like a bed comforter, and he's just like taunting her. And no and at first it looked like it was funny, or but you think when you really look at it later after these accusations were made, you could tell he's just trying to show his power through like being abusive and showing the world, like, look who I am. I'm fucking Puff Daddy. I do whatever the fuck I want. And she's just like so jerked out of her mind. She's like stuck under the comforter, and she's like, and he's just like, what? Who's your daddy? Like, what a disgusting fucking human being, bro. And that probably got like 30,000 likes probably in some back in the fucking day.
That's wild.
What?
Yeah, just to even think like what's happening, what's coming to light now, and kind of like trace it back to like his involvement with Biggie and Tupac. It's just like wild.
Bro, and that's the thing. I've first connected it there because my brother told me back in the day. He told me in the 90s when Biggie got shot and Tupac got shot, people all over the streets were saying there was a huge following saying, yo, Diddy definitely did that. Diddy definitely did that. And when things happen at first, there's so many news that's gonna pop out, like, you know what I mean? Like, and for people to say that, like, why would you say that? So just to give you a little insight, I fucking watched this shit. The Biggie Small shit, I watched the heart, bro. So there was a documentary that came out on Netflix, and the documentary is called Unsolved, but it's about the murder mysteries of Tupac and Biggie.
Really good.
Yeah, really good, really fucking good. And just to basically tell you, Biggie, when he first blew up, the reason Puff Daddy's who he is today is due to Biggie Smalls. Biggie Smalls came up. He was founded by some dude that knew Sean Combs. That's his real name, Sean Combs. When Sean Combs was just working for an industry, he wasn't this hot producer. He wasn't even a producer. He wasn't anybody. He was just a former R&B dancer or something like that. Former R&B dancer that was kind of connected with the music industry.
So he's just getting started.
But he was never thinking about owning like Bad Boy Records, which ended up becoming Bad Boy Records. Some guy knew Diddy and said, yo, Diddy, I got some new guy. His name is Biggie Smalls. He's hot right now. He's like making a name for himself. He's trying to change his life. He's trying to get out of the streets. Can you do anything to help him? Puff Daddy tries to help him. Things are looking well, but then the main label company that was going to help both of them out, they're like, nah, we don't, you know what? We don't really have the funding for a side project. They didn't take Biggie serious because rap was still kind of new.
Yeah.
Rap came out with NWA and all those upcoming rappers at the time. So it wasn't really respected much. So they didn't really want to take their efforts on Biggie. Somehow Puff Daddy gets connected with somebody, and this is where it looks like everything started for him. And he creates Bad Boy Records. Luckily, Biggie was so big, no pun intended. He was so big with his music that his talent took off, bro. Boy created Juicy, Notorious Thugs, Big Papa, you name it, Hypnotize. Music that changed New York forever.
Yeah.
And
the rap game.
Yeah, and the rap game forever. Bringing back the respect to the East Coast. This is how the East Coast, West Coast shit started. So Biggie becomes this big time star. Everyone knows he's going to be fucking paid soon. But Biggie, mentioned a bunch of different interviews, not just this docuseries in Netflix, but in a bunch of people that knew Biggie, everyone mentions that Biggie knew he was getting underpaid and he was gonna look for the next label out. And he was already getting promised big time money. Money that a new company like Bad Boy Records was not going to be able to compete with. So the rumor started there that Biggie was going to become the next fucking biggest thing and everyone wanted him. He was going to get paid because rap started to blow up.
Mm-hmm.
It was already a couple years in. Biggie had proved his market. So I don't remember what company again was going to sign him, but it was speculation that Biggie was already telling a lot of the people that worked in Bad Boy Records that he liked that he was looking for a ticket out. So if they knew, you don't think the CEO of Bad Boy Records is going to know that you want out? So the rumor is that he got him killed because then when he died, he owned all the royalties to Biggie's music. Nothing got transferred over to his families because he had no will. He had nothing set up where his rights of his music were going to go anywhere else.
Yep.
And they died and stayed with Bad Boy Records.
Anthony's like,
I mean, holy shit.
yeah.
Is that all confirmed?
Most
That
of it.
part?
Most of it.
I mean,
Like I said,
at least the record part?
I mean,
Yeah,
Bad
like
Boy Records owns Biggie Smalls.
he wanted a way out, like because he knew he was being like, just pushed. He wasn't being paid. He wasn't, he's being taken advantage of. He's like, yo, I know that I'm big.
It's not that he was probably taking advantage. Let's be honest. Maybe there was an undercut payment, but he wasn't gonna ever probably be happy with the pay because Bad Boy Records was just a startup company. I mean, they were getting paid to perform. Like, let's just say Bad Boy Records earned $1 million. Puff Daddy, as a new CEO, probably wasn't handling the money right, wasn't hiring the right talent, probably wasn't being monitored right. So Biggie Smalls, there was an interview that this guy did on what's that show called? There's this show called on YouTube,
Vlad
TV. He interviews a bunch of people. It's really good if you know who he's talking to.
Mm.
So a lot of the people he's got in there are people that are affiliated with Biggie, like his best friend that was growing up, his security guard, and a lot of them say that Biggie was pretty much broke towards the end. Broke as in he took care of his mom, was stupid with his money. He was young and he was 23, bro. 22, 23.
Wow.
He wasn't handling his money right either, and he probably also needed rapper life isn't cheap. Any kind of art, musician life isn't cheap.
It's a fact, yeah.
And just to give you an example of how I know this is true, Fat Joe, not to go too much into it, but Fat Joe founded what's his name? Big Pun? Big Pun.
Yeah.
He founded Big Pun, which is also another kind of like Biggie Smalls but Latin man.
Mm-hmm.
Like became big, was wrapping up, but he died. And a lot of people said like Fat Joe was like another Puff Daddy, like, oh, this motherfucker's fucking snake. He's gonna keep the rights to his music. Fat Joe, just to make sure everyone shut up, he gave up the rights. He gave the rights to his family. He gave Big Pun's music royalties to his family. So they owned it. They could do whatever they want with his records.
They get all the royalties, any money that comes from it. But yeah.
Wow.
And just to give you later on, a bunch of people that got signed later on in Bad Boys, a lot of them fell off, never happy, never disclosing any information until later on. Now the years of exposure now is becoming more relevant. People like Mace come up and talk. People like Cassidy saying they were underpaid, not happy. Jadakiss, Fabulous, saying, yeah, man, every time I worked for Puff Daddy, I never got paid, or I wasn't getting paid enough. This motherfucker's been around known as a snake, bro. And he's crazy. There's rumors that 2 years ago he had an incident in Halloween where he dressed as the Joker. And he was going around like fucking threatening people. Like just trying to show up and be like, yo, you know who I am? I'm fucking Puff Daddy. Like this guy's fucking delusional, bro. This is why I fucking hate him. He's a scumbag, bro. A scumbag.
Honestly, I'm a student right now. I'm learning. I'm taking this all in. I had no idea about any of this, and it was very interesting to hear you talk about Biggie's come up, dude. That I didn't know any of that. That's pretty. Damn. So he's just kind of known in the industry for like underpaying talent, like the good talent.
Yeah, I mean,
and just known to not like be able to live up to what they're worth.
Yeah,
in a way, right?
I can't say underpaying everybody, but a lot of his artists came out and started speaking out and saying they weren't happy.
Mm.
He wasn't the greatest guy to work with. Very weird. And you know what's funny? He found it. So basically, to give you more information on why I believe he really does groom people, is when Usher was coming up as a young R&B singer. P Diddy took him under his wing at 13. This guy stayed at a 40-year-old's home, or maybe a late 30-year-old at that time, stayed at his house while they were having fucking parties with a bunch of fucking girls that were just naked, guys that were there, drugs were there, alcohol was there. And think about how wild those parties must be. And Usher was like 13, 14, living it,
Wow.
being exposed to it.
So he was very young,
Yeah.
according to
I didn't
these-
know that part.
Yeah, and Usher goes in a bunch of interviews and he tells them, I was. They were called the Diddy boot camp or something like that.
I'm shocked right now. Honestly, I'm trying to take this all in.
Yeah.
What you have any thoughts, Mike? On
I-
all that? That was a lot.
No, I mean,
that was good.
I knew some of it also from watching the documentary, the docu-series. But yeah, a lot of it's like, it's crazy like how these things like start at one place and they end up on the complete opposite end, like with Biggie dying and then like Tupac. You know,
I don't even want to go on that part because I'll talk for another hour.
yeah.
Wait, so just real quick question: How is this still all ongoing?
The raid happened.
A couple days ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, a couple days ago, the raid happened.
There's his private jet was seen in the air because they can track it. It went from, I believe it was in Los Angeles, and it went all the way to an island called Cape Verde, I believe. Cape Verde, and it was it's an island where you can't get extradited from. So there's rumors saying that he's there. Then there's rumors also of videos being shown that he was in Miami. So they don't know exactly what the fuck's going on right now. I actually don't even know where Diddy's at. No one knows, I think, where Diddy's at. You'll see some articles maybe saying that, Diddy was seen with his daughters. That's the latest thing that you've seen, but no arrests have been made. Just a raid.
He probably has the jet flying from place to place though too. But I know they can track it, but he probably has it just like ghost flying.
I'll talk about that jet thing in a second, but I want to ask you guys some questions because I can keep talking forever.
Go.
As more and more is revealed in each year, and especially what I talked about, how dark do you think this industry is, and why do you feel like why doesn't it shock more people any? Like why do you feel like it's not shocking anymore?
You want to take this, Mike, first?
Yeah, I mean, I think because I could be going on a stretch, like reaching here, but I think because of like more recently, like the devil agenda has been being pushed through the industry. That like, now it's not shocking for people to like sell their soul to the industry, and just it's not shocking anymore because now it's in the music that you hear. You know, whether it's on the radio, you listen to it personally, whatever. It's on commercials, it's in ads, it's everywhere. You know, so like I feel like it's just now it's like normalized in society. So where like they hear something like on surface level, like this P Diddy thing is like very deep, where you've heard stories, but like if it's like surface level news, then people are not really like taken aback by it. You know, I guess until like more detail gets shown and they kind of get invested into it. Like say it's like one of their favorite artists and they're like, oh, what the fuck? Like this is my favorite artist. Like I want to see like what their upbringing is in the industry.
I completely agree with Mike when it comes to it not being shocking anymore. To speak a little bit more on that double agenda, when you push something as egregious, as horrible as that, I mean, selling your soul is the least of your crimes. If that makes sense.
It does.
If I'm trying to like
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Everything after is even worse than selling your soul.
Yeah.
Yes. Like
Can
that
I
is
ask you a question, guys?
Yeah.
You had a good. We're gonna start with you because you were, and I want you to continue. But I feel like, what does selling your soul like mean?
That's a good question, actually. Something that violates your integrity, your conscience, and your morality. That's selling your soul. And you do it for either to gain short-term advantage at the expense of long-term peace or long-term, ideal, pleasure, whatever.
Gotcha.
That's what I would say.
Anything to add?
Yeah, if anything that like shakes your core values, your principles, what you stand for, what you believe in, just to make a quick buck or just make it to the next level, and not having any shame really in open public. Who knows how they're feeling behind closed doors, but in open public, like you don't give a shit what people think.
Let me give you an example. Let's say you're
Ice Spice.
let's let's
Cat.
uh let's what's a good example? I mean, I don't know, because this is more of a personal question for someone, that thinks that they're violating their own integrity, but pushing, let's say, a devil agenda with music, let's say Lil Nas, for example. If you're a religious kind of person,
That's the reference I was waiting for.
okay,
Keep going.
if you're in the religious space, or I don't know how to word this, actually. I'm trying to think. Like, I'm basically trying to say, like, something as pushing the devil, which is universally shown in the world as a negative thing, to the youth is a huge, huge, like, it's a stab in the heart to the souls of kids. Because, like, yeah,
beautifully said. Because I'm going to show you now an image, and it's going to be crazy. And I want you to just know these artists. This is how these artists looked when they first started coming up and blowing up in the industry. You have people like Doja Cat, Lil Nas X, Cardi Boy, and
so that focus is manual. You're gonna have to.
oh,
Yeah, right there. Perfect. You're good.
okay, right. So you guys all
Okay.
see them. Those were them when they first started blowing up.
Yeah.
Doja Cat was sexy as fuck when she first started blowing up. Okay, this is them now later on when they're in the industry for a while and they become really successful. So just remember that image.
I'm scared.
So this is their devil agenda pushing later on, and these are all real. These all happen. These are all
Doja Cat looks the scariest.
yeah. So
Can you show that?
So those are images.
There you go.
Yeah. So those are images of those artists after they've
Come on, work. There you go. It keeps focus. Cover your eyes. There you go. Now it worked. Yeah, because it's focusing on your eyes.
Gotcha. So yeah, so that's like it's legit. Like holy fuck, like it's not made up. Like
who's the first guy again? The white dude. That's
Sam Smith?
Sam Smith.
yeah, Sam Smith.
Yeah, when I first saw a video of like that, the devilish side of him, I was just like, I used to like sing some of his music because it was good.
Of course.
Or
His
listen
music was
to it.
amazing when he first came out. Not that it's not amazing now. I don't like the devil shit, man. It feels like you said. You can tell the integrity is sold. The integrity is sold. They have so. I'm gonna give you a quick little story that I just watched this yesterday. I watched a whole fucking part 9 series of a guy on TikTok that never says that he's associated with David Dobrik, but calls the guy David the whole time. He's like, you guys make the reference. I'm not gonna say his name.